What's up, everybody? How are y'all doing on this here Good Thursday? This is your girl, Lauren Denise, host of This Too Shall Suck podcast, where we talk about the real of grief, the whole grief, and nothing but the grief. Back with another live chat. I'm so honored and excited to have my girl. I'm not going to call her nickname because I did that on the podcast. My girl, April Fore, in the building. April, hey, girl.
Hey.
Y'all, we're going to try not to laugh this whole time. So if you are joining me on Facebook or on, what's the other one? Where am I at? YouTube. If you are joining me on Facebook or YouTube, if you can just give me just a quick thumbs up, let me know that you hear me, because I know sometimes this little platform likes to give us, issues with the sound. Oh, wait, hold on. I got a notification. Okay, great. I think you guys can hear me. So I see you all on Facebook. Hey, guys. Thank you for joining. If you are joining, let me know where you're joining from. Make sure you can hear us. I can see y'all. Appreciate it. Oh, hold on, AP. We might have. Okay, there we go. There we go, girl. We're good. We're good. But April was on episode 8 of the Sue Shall Suck podcast titled Butterflies Fly High. And if you listen to the episode, you would know why it's titled that. But we'll get into it. I'll give y'all I'm not going to give y'all everything because you need to listen to the episode, but I'll give you a little bit of something. So, April, number one, thank you so much for being here again and joining me on this platform. So excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Always, duh. If you guys didn't know, if you haven't listened to the episode, April and I go way back. I don't even know, AP. How long we go back?
Like 2006, 2007.
6, yeah, way back, like in the Cadillac. Me and AP are about 25, so that was lying. Ain't nobody on here 25. No one over here is not over 30. So, but we go way back, and April just has an amazing story, and I'm just always so inspired by her and just her journey. And so, April.
You said you weren't going to call me.
I know, it's a habit. It's such a habit. April. It does. It does. It does. So my bad if I say AP, guys. I'm talking about April. Okay. So April, if you can just April, I'm not doing this with you today.
Girl.
So if you can just let the people know a little bit about your journey with grief. Obviously, that's what we're here to talk about. So if you can just let them know a little bit about your journey with that.
All right. Hi, everyone. I am April Fore. I am the author of The Adventures of E.G.G, which is behind me, The Adventures of Emma Grace Godwins. So in 2014, I received the best news ever. I found out that I was pregnant. I was super excited. I was a nanny, and I'd always worked with children, special needs children, the school districts and things like that. So children was my life. So I was so excited to have one that looked like me. So at a routine check at my ninth week checkup, I went in for screenings, and that's when they screen for Down syndrome and other different types of syndromes and things like that. And when they gave us the pictures, we did the ultrasound, everything was great. My sisters were there, and we were so excited, and Emma Grace's father was there, and everyone was really happy. And they gave us the pictures from the sonogram, and we're looking at the pictures, and I noticed a little lump on her neck, and I was like, my sisters and we were like, I wonder what that is, and I didn't know at the time. So went into the room with the doctors. I told my sister, I was like, y'all can go. We're just getting the results, not expecting anything to be wrong. And the doctor came in. He had no expression on his face. And he's like, well, your daughter will either have Turner syndrome, or she'll have Down syndrome. And at the time, he didn't say your daughter. He said the child. At that time, we didn't know if it was a boy or girl. But if it was a girl, then she was going to have Turner syndrome. And I had never heard of this. And he said it's Turner syndrome, and she'll have 1% chance of making it. By this time, my ears have gone off. I'm deaf. I'm just screaming. I am screaming to the top of my lungs. I'm crying. And he was just like, there wasn't anything that you could do. You didn't do anything. And I'm like, Okay, but he was not comforting at all. Like, you just
No
delivered the
bedside
worst news.
manner.
None. Like, you just delivered the worst news possible to me at that time. And you were just like, all right, well, take this little brochure and have a great day. And I was just like, what? So I ended up having to take a karyotype test. That's when they draw blood for the mom to determine the sex of the child and things like that when it's early on. And took that, and they said, I had to wait 14 days, I believe. And at the end, if it was going to be Turner's, then, she had a 1% chance of making it. And if not, it would be Down syndrome. And I was just like, well, it's my baby. It is what it is. I love her or him. At the time, I didn't know. It's my child. I'm just going to rock with my baby. And
Right.
so I prayed the 14. I mean, I went through every emotion. I cried. I prayed. I was happy. But it's like, as soon as you're happy, the reality sets in that you're waiting to see if your child is going to make it, if they're going to have, a condition. And so she, in fact, did have Turner syndrome. And I had to make a really tough decision on, you know, she was growing at a rapid pace. She was filling up with fluid. And so it was probably going to end up in a miscarriage. Because like I said, 98% of them end up in miscarriage. And they say about 15% of miscarriages are of girls with Turner syndrome. So I prayed about it. I went into my secret closet. I talked to God. I, talked with my mom, talked with Emma Grace's father. And I think the choice that I made was the best choice that I made. I made it for myself. And her, I didn't know if she was in pain. I didn't know if I was going to be able to survive a miscarriage. I didn't know if I was strong enough mentally to handle that. So I made peace with it. And on May 23rd, she went back to heaven to be with the Lord. And so that's when the grieving process started because, I lost her. I lost a child, and it was painful, but I also lost every, all the things that I thought about that I wanted to do with her. I lost, the life I wanted her to have. I lost us twinning on Christmas and twinning on Easter. Like, I lost all of that. And you don't even think about that, but you lose a lot. It's so many steps to it, so many layers of the things that when you lose a child or, miscarriage, or, if you do have to make that hard decision. But, so that is when the grief process started. And I wanted to bring awareness to Turner syndrome because I knew that God wasn't, playing this cruel joke on me. At first it felt like that because I'm like, I take care of kids and now I can't have one of my own. But I knew that there had to be a purpose. I knew that he would not just bring me to this thing and be like, all right, thanks. But so her birthday would have been November 6th, no, November 8th. So that year, 2014, November 8th, I reached out to, when I was learning about Turner syndrome, I had reached out to the Turner Syndrome Society of the United States, and I planned to walk. So on November 8th, which would have been her birthday, we did a walk. We had a Turner syndrome, we had a Chasing Butterflies walk where we brought awareness. People traveled all over, came to our little town in Conway, and it was beautiful. And so I decided that I just didn't want her legacy to die. I didn't want, that just to be the end of it. I was always going to talk about my baby. She was my first baby. And every chance I get, you will hear me talk about Emma Grace. And well, now it's Emma Grace and Talia. So, I wanted to bring awareness. Nobody knew about it. So I wanted to bring awareness. And then I started writing the books. Started writing the books because of a class assignment. We had to write a children's book, and I wrote it. And then 2019, then I started the series.
I love it. I love it. I do. I just love that you turned your pain into purpose because, obviously I don't have children and, I've never been pregnant, but just knowing you and like you said, knowing the love that you have for children and then the excitement of being able to have your own and then it being like ripped away from you, you're like, God, I got a couple questions.
Hey.
Hi, me again. Questions. What's going on here?
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of talk about that, and I know we talked about it a little bit on the episode. for someone who's listening, maybe a mother or parents who are listening who have to make that hard decision of possibly, allowing their child to go back to heaven before they make it onto this earth. What do you say to them about making that decision? Because I know you said for you, it was definitely like, I can't mentally, for me, I'm not going to be able to mentally handle a miscarriage. So what do you say to them? Maybe they're feeling bad, like, because they have strong thoughts about, elective abortions and things like that. So what do you say to those parents who are possibly going through that, or who may see this later and are going through it?
I just say you really have to search yourself and you really have to go to God and listen to Him, because if I didn't feel the peace, like if I didn't have that peace come over me when I was making the decision, then I would not have been able to make the decision and have, like, I guess, like a clear conscience about it. Now, there are still times that I'm like, did I make the right decision? And I go back and forth, but I'm like, if she would have been here, like, would she have made it? Or, there's so many, issues that she could have been faced with that, would have prolonged her pain and things like that. So I didn't know how, I didn't want her to be in any pain. I didn't want to be selfish. And that's how I had to look at it. Like, am I being selfish for continuing on? And I didn't want to be selfish. She was growing at um, a rapid speed. She was developing. She was, filling up with fluid. So I'm like, I'm just being selfish to try to keep her here because
Right.
her condition was worsening. So it's just, you have to really sit down and just pray and hope God gives you that answer that is going to bring you that peace, and you'll feel it. You'll know it. You will know it. You won't toss and turn. You will be able to get a good night's sleep, and you will feel the peace come over you. And when you do that, that is when you'll have your decision. You can make that decision. You'll have your answer.
Yeah, no, I love that because that peace is real. Because I tell
Mhm.
people all the time, I'm like, when I pray about something, if I get a peace, then I know it's good. If not,
Mhm.
it's not the way that it needs to go, or I probably need to like. That's probably God. Like, nope, that I'm not putting my hands on
That's
that.
not
Nope,
it. Yeah.
nope, that's not the one. So to
Yeah.
piggyback off that, on the other side of it, the person who again has strong thoughts about like why would you make that decision, like why would you decide to send your baby back to heaven? What do you say to those people who are, I don't want to say judgmental, but have strong thought processes on that and are very opinionated on that decision that you may have made?
Well, it was my body.
Oh, girl, come on, my body, my choice. I'm about to lose a whole bunch of listeners. Sorry, you'll live. It's the truth.
I say that I had to think about April. I know how I hold on to things. So if that wasn't the choice that you would have made, then respect my choice and respect how I handled my life. Um, that might not have been what you wanted to do in your life. And if you're ever faced with that decision, then you have the right to make any decision that you want. But I think when people feel like that, you can't push your thoughts because you're not in my shoes. This is not happening to you. You're just going out and say, I would never do that. I could never do that if God wanted it this way. But I always say, God puts people in different places. God made, this procedure
That's
for
right.
people that have to go through this. So if it wasn't supposed to happen this way, then it wouldn't it would not have happened this way. This was, did I know, years ago that this was going to be my plan? This was going to be in my plan of life that God had planned. I didn't know that, but I always say he brought me here. He put me in this situation. I prayed over. He gave me that peace. So this is what I was supposed to do. So to those people that's like, I can't believe you did that. I prayed over it and he gave me my answer. If you can live your life or do things according to the person next to you, because they may have all the opinions, they may have all the things they would like to say, all the judgment, but at the end of the day, it's still you in your room by yourself with God. They're gone, they're living their life. And who's to say when they do face that they would make the same decision? So you don't know. It's so easy to pass judgment on people when you're not in their shoes. So
Oh, I love that. I love that because that's so true. everybody has an opinion, everybody has something to say, but like you said, passing judgment until you're there, can't really say what you would do in my shoes until you get into my shoes, which you'll never be technically in my shoes. So there's that. That's a whole nother thing.
So,
So if you can just share a little bit about what Turner syndrome is, because like I shared on the episode, I didn't know anything about Turner syndrome, just like you didn't,
mhm.
prior to this. For people who are listening, just I know obviously your journey is to educate us. So if you can just educate us on a little bit of what you know about Turner syndrome.
So Turner syndrome only affects girls. It happens to affect every 1 in 2,000 to 4,000 girls. It's very rare. They are short in stature, so they could be about 4'6" to 4'8" if they don't take growth hormones to make them taller. They have delayed puberty. There's also some that have facial characteristics, like they'll have webbed necks, because the thing that was on my daughter's neck was a cystic hygroma. So that was the indicator that there was chromosome abnormalities. So when they have that, they end up, the fluid will drain, but then they'll have like a webbed neck. And so that's an indicator. They have low setting ears. They often have, please stop.
Oh, Talia said she wants to be in the interview as well.
So they have, sorry, y'all have a 3-year-old, 3.5-year-old.
You're fine. You're fine. I love it.
And they have heart issues. They have issues with their ears. They don't have, they aren't able to have children on their own because they're missing those, that the ovaries and things like that. So they can adopt, and they're very successful. Once they get here, that 1%, they are truly amazing. But it's just getting here. So they have, health challenges throughout their lives. So, yeah.
Yeah, no. I like I said, I had no idea all of that was happening. I didn't even know, like, I don't know. I guess I just don't know. You just don't know if you don't know, right? And so I
Yeah.
appreciate you just educating, so many people on it. And so I want to dive into, or kind of lean into, how the series started.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said it started from a school project, but what
Mm-hmm.
made you take this project to publishing a book, like, and creating a series around it?
Well, because I wanted to just keep her legacy alive, and but in like a creative way. Because I mean, I can come on Facebook, Instagram, and talk about it all the time, and y'all like, okay, girl, we get it. But so I was like, but let's bring awareness, because when I was looking for the when I was researching TS, I didn't see anything. I'm like, well, what's out here for these
Right.
girls that's going through this, and I like to say, if you don't see it, you have to create it. So I'm like, I don't see any books about Turner syndrome. Like, how do girls that have it, when do they see themselves? And so I was like, I didn't see it, but it was also a way of me to give her the experiences that I thought she would enjoy. Or it's like I get to spend time with her.
Mm.
It's like, I don't, I create memories with my daughter, Talia, and we have pictures and things like this. So this, in a way, is me creating memories with Emma Grace. And I get to write about these experiences. I get to, y'all, it is so
Talia
real
says she
up
wants to
here.
be involved. It's
Yes,
fine.
you've got
I
to be.
I know the mommies watching are like, I understand.
Like, I'm surprised she's been quiet this long. But anyway, um, so I just wanted to, in the books, she gets to have a relationship with my parents. And it's like, I'm
Oh, I
writing
love.
what I would have loved her life to be, or what I would have loved, I love you too, what I would have loved to experience with her. So it's just my way of experiencing with her. No, I'm talking about anyways. You have come on, Talia. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Anyway,
She said, "Are you talking about me, girl? Hey,
she was like, "Is it me? Y'all
is
talking
it
about me?"
me? Hey, girl."
I'm here, hey, y'all.
That's my boo.
No,
Talia is my boo, which y'all don't know. She said, "You talking about me?" Love that.
and she
Hey.
has on hot pink lipstick right now. But anyway,
Yes.
um, So I just wanted to be able to share these experiences with her and also bring normalcy to, kids with Turner syndrome. I wanted girls with Turner syndrome. I wanted them to be able to pick up a book and see themselves. I wanted other children that do have to frequently visit the hospitals and go to the doctors. I wanted them to have some normalcy. It's like, hey, well, it's okay. This, it's in a book. It's okay. I'm fine. You're different. Your journey's different, but it's okay. And everyone, we're different for a reason, and our differences makes the world beautiful. So I wanted to just, celebrate differences and celebrate, children that do have to go to the hospital, that wear hearing aids, that have to wear orthotics and things like that. I wanted to celebrate that.
Oh no, I love that. And what I love the most of what you said is if you don't see it, create it, which I think was absolutely amazing that you're trying to research and understand and you're like, well, why don't I see anything? So you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make it, and I'm gonna honor my daughter in the midst of it and create all of those relationships that she would have had if she was here. And so I kind of want to talk a little bit about that, but I'm gonna just say TS because I don't want her to be like, you talking about me, Miss? Okay, we're gonna say Miss TS over there. Did she hear me say her name? What was that?
Coming in.
Right. What? Did you me?
Is
Hey
this my turn?
girl.
You ready?
Right. She is a star, so she's welcome.
Yeah.
However, I'll say Miss TS, do you think that experience by losing Emma Grace, how do you think that shaped your relationship or how you mother TS now? Or do you think it caused anything?
All right, go out and close the door, okay? I'll be out in a minute, okay? I'm coming. I'm gonna close the door because that makes a lot of noise.
She said, I'm waiting on
Close
you,
the
girl.
door, girl. So
I'm waiting
Talia's
on you.
home. Oh no, it has. It. I just love her. I don't. I mean, I could just eat her face. I just love her
She's
so
the
much.
cutest.
I love spending time with her.
She know you're talking about her. That's what that is.
You don't need to do that, y'all. It's a sticker, and she said she needs to take that. So close the door, Talia. Close the door.
Y'all about to see Mama. Y'all about to see Mama AP in a second.
Anyway, no, it's just, it made me just really cherish the moments that I have with her. Um, and just, I'm probably more lenient on the child than I'm supposed to. And, you have them and you're just like, oh my God, I'm so happy that you're here. And you just love on them. And I want to lock the door right now. I'm not. No, it just made me appreciate her so much more. I think Emma Grace, going through that with her, she started my mommy, my journey into mommyhood and making decisions that you think is best for your children. So everything that I do is for Talia. The series is, to honor Emma Grace, but it is to leave a legacy for Talia. So everything is, everything I do is for my girls, for Talia. I made a promise to Emma Grace that I would be a better person after, everything I went with her. I wanted her to be proud of me. I want, I'm like, it's, would Emma Grace be proud of the woman that I am now? Because I think, having her going through everything like that, she has made me so much better. So now, Talia gets that. She gets the better version of, of her mom, because of Emma Grace, because of everything that I've gone through. So, it just makes me love her really hard. She's my little bestie. She knows it. So, and it's just us, and I love that. I love her, and so
Oh, TS. I'm gonna say TS, honey. She can
yes.
slide in that room.
She's like, huh?
What? Huh? What'd
Yeah.
you say? You got me, girl? No, I love it. I only have a couple more questions because I know she's like, I need your time. Okay.
And now when I get out there, she won't even be saying anything to me.
Oh
She's
yeah,
like,
no. Yeah, she's gonna move forward with her toys. She really doesn't like necessarily want to play with you.
No, she doesn't.
That's how they do. That's how they do. My nephew does it. He's like, Titi, come here. And I'm there and I'm like, And then he goes and
Yep.
does something else. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine.
But you wanted me. No? Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I know something that we had talked about before and also on the show. What is the biggest takeaway that you want people to take away from your experience going through everything? And again, we just gave them a small snippet. You need to listen to the whole episode if you want the whole thing.
Mhm.
But what is the biggest takeaway that you want somebody to learn from your experience for someone, again, who is listening to this now or in the future who may be going through it?
Um, there is a reason that God chose you to go through there, to go through the moment that you're in now. There is a reason, and you don't know it. You won't see it in the beginning. You'll just feel the hurt, you'll feel the pain, you'll feel the loss, you'll grieve, you'll be upset. You'll be happy, you'll go through every emotion, but when everything settles, there will be a reason, there will be a purpose. And you just have to, while you're going through it, find that comfort in knowing that it won't always feel like this. This pain won't be so raw. It's gonna hurt. It's you're always gonna have that pain, but it won't be so raw. It won't be like the first cut. It won't be like that. So that's one of the things that always brought me comfort, is knowing that it won't always be this painful and this hurtful. The emotions of missing her will always be there. I was at a photo shoot and happy for the book, and I'm happy and I'm taking pictures, and I'm like, yeah, we're doing it. And then it just hit me. It was like, we are
Mm-hmm.
here because she's not here. So, and that's how it'll happen. You'll, the smallest thing, it'll bring it back. But then, I smile at the gift that she gave me. Like, she's still here. She's still here. Talia emulates her puffs. She wants her egg puffs. So, so Talia still does get to have that moment where she's, acting, wanting to be like her big sister. But I just tell parents that's going through this, that there is a purpose behind the pain. There is, you will find, it might not show up right away, but you will one day be like, okay, this is why I had to go through this. And you could very well be that testimony for someone else.
Mm.
I always say, share your stories if you can. If you have it in you to share your stories, because talking helps so many other people. By sharing my stories, a lot of people have said, well, I've never talked about this before, but, since you're so vocal about it and you talk, then they're sharing their stories with me about them losing their children. So, when we talk with our friends and our family, sometimes they don't, they can't share, but when you do, they feel that comfort, they feel that ease because you're sharing. So,
Oh, I love that. That is true. Share your story and your test. Oh my God, your test might be the testimony that somebody needs. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I want to talk about the book, The
Hmm.
Adventures of Egg. So now you're on book two.
Book two.
Book two. So if you can tell people, yeah, look, come on with the. Do y'all see this background? I'm struggling right now. I'm hanging things up this weekend, guys. Don't worry. This will be like super cute here in a second, but just right now, it's blank. Okay. So, if you could tell them about the series and what is coming up in the series, I know we talked about it a little bit, but if you can talk about the series now and then what is coming up in the future with the Adventures of Egg.
All right. So, The Adventures of Emma Grace Godwin's. Yeah, Talia, let me finish. Let me finish.
If you
Like,
hit him
she's
with that
coming and
mama
asking
eye.
like about like stuff like, like, oh, so how's the stock market doing today? Like, girl, like, do we have to talk about that right now?
Oh,
Like,
somebody said, April, you the truth. I know she is, isn't she? She's just phenomenal.
I'm
You're
just like,
just phenomenal.
girl. All right, so The Adventures of Emma Grace Godwins is about Emma Grace Godwins. We call her Egg, and her last name is
Oh,
Godwins.
I was about to say, can we get into why her last name is Godwin so I can shout on this here good lot?
Her last name is Godwins because God always wins. And I
Hallelujah.
had to have him there. I was like, he needs, because he always wins and he pulls us through. Okay, won't he do
Mhm.
it? Will he won't? But
but we are careful.
okay.
Careful now.
But so it is about Emma Grace. She is a butterfly. Like they're like the Girl Scouts, but she's a butterfly, and that's what girls with Turner syndrome is called. Butterflies because they're missing their X chromosome or they have partial chromosome, and it looks like a butterfly. So she's a butterfly. She's very adventurous. She's courageous. She's strong. She in the first book she gets a friend. She makes a friend with someone that she wasn't really expecting to make a friend with. So she makes a friend. So that one's
Her
about
shady
friendship.
friend.
Yeah, her little shady
Her
friend.
friend is shady.
Anyway, just a little bit. Um, and then the second book, she gets hearing aids. She's having trouble with her listening ears, kind of like her sister Talia, but she is having trouble with her listening ears. So she will get help with that. She's gonna get hearing aids, and book 3, she's going to get a promotion. In book 3, I will have Talia Simone. So I'm pregnant in the first 2 books. And then the next one, she will be promoted to big sister. So we'll talk about that. And she's going to learn how to be a big sister and things like that. And then we will have Emma Grace gets a zipper. That is where a lot of girls that do have TS, they have heart surgeries and things like that. So she will be getting a zipper because it kind of looks like a zipper. So she'll be getting a zipper. And in the 5th book of this series, it's like a Christmas book. So she's going to save the Christmas pageant. So she's going to be saving the day for the Christmas program. And so yeah, that's right now is slated to have 5 books in the series. We're on book number 2. I will release a book every February because February is Turner Syndrome Awareness Month.
Oh,
so
good.
To bring awareness to it, we'll release a book every February.
Oh, AP, I love it. See, I called her AP
And there's
again.
a doll coming. Emma Grace will be getting a plush doll soon. That's in the works.
Wait.
She's really cute. I'm really excited.
I mean, Abby, she's cute in the book. So like, give me a Cabbage Patch egg. Like, please and thank you. Honestly. So somebody said, April, you the truth.
Thank you.
I know she is. She's bomb.com. But AP, I know you got baby girl over there chomping at the bit when you spend time with mommy. Look, she's not gonna spend no time. She's gonna be like, okay, girl, thank you.
Yeah, she's like, are you done? Okay, I don't need anything.
Right, she is not gonna sit in that room for 10 more minutes. She will not bother you. Like
she
now that she knows. Yeah. But I just want to thank you for being here again. If you guys have not listened to her episode, it's episode 8 of this You Shall Suck podcast, Butterflies Fly High. And now you know why it's called Butterflies Fly High, because Emma Grace, God wins, is a butterfly. So AP, April, if you can tell them where they can find you, where they can buy the book, where they can look out for the doll, let them all know.
Yes. All right, so the book is now available on Amazon.com. Just look for the Adventures of Eggs, or look for April, April Fore, April LJ Fore. The website, we are on Instagram, and our website is theeggstories.com. IG is The Egg Stories. On Facebook, it is The Adventures of Egg. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much, April, again for being here. It was such a pleasure having you on the show and have you on the live chat. I'm sure. Oh, thank you guys. So I'm sure that you will help somebody in the future now.
Okay.
Look, you can't. Look! Get it, T. Get it, Talia. I hear you, boo. Do you hear that, Bo? That's a star in there, okay? So thank you, Boo, for being here. Thank you so much for just being vulnerable and sharing your story. I know it wasn't easy for you, and I know it's not easy for you every day. Obviously, having to kind of relive and be in the moment of it. I completely understand.
Mm-hmm.
So just thank you for sharing and being vulnerable and helping people out. In when they didn't even know necessarily like they needed help at that moment. So thank you so much again, girl. I really appreciate you. And thank you guys on Facebook and YouTube. I see y'all for listening or joining for another live chat on this Two Shall Suck podcast, where we talk about the real of grief, the whole grief, and nothing but the grief. Listen to April's episode, season 2, episode 8, Butterflies Fly